I'm Tony Tedesco. I'm from Easton, Pennsylvania, and I'm an original Philly girl. I was born and raised in Philadelphia, specifically Upper Darby, which is a suburb of Philly. So today I chose to make something a favorite of Philly, and that's our Philly quiche steak. Now I call it quiche steak because a lot of men will say, oh, we don't eat quiche, but I guarantee you the boys will eat this one because it's a real Philly treat. So the first thing we're going to do is make our steak. Okay, the first thing we're going to do, I spray my pan. Stove on, and we're going to add our steak. And I use the processor to get the steaks nice and choppy, because you don't want to use whole pieces. Like when you get a cheesesteak, absolutely the pieces are big, but you don't want to do that in a little appetizer. So I use the processor, and they process nice. If you process them with frozen, the chip steaks, they come out really nice. So I'm going to add the chip steak, my onions, and my peppers, and it's 2 cups of onions and 1 whole red pepper. Now I like to use red peppers because I like the sweetness of red peppers. You can use any pepper really, depending on what you like. And if you like it hot, certainly you can use hot peppers, but I don't like hot stuff. I'm hot enough. I don't need hot stuff to eat. So I will just use, I like my red peppers. So I'm going to brown that up. I'm going to add a little garlic powder because every Italian and every Philadelphian uses garlic. And I like a little parsley. So we're going to put a little parsley on that. And just a taste. Now, you can use salt and pepper to taste. I personally don't use salt because I feel it's salty enough. But certainly if you like a lot of salt, you can add salt and pepper. Now, I don't do that, but that's your option. And then we'll brown this up really good. So we just have to let it sit and brown. Okay, our meat is almost finished. Now, what I like to do, because sometimes it gets really mushy and wet, and you don't want to put that in your little quiches, so I drain it. And I use a colander, and I use parchment paper, and I poked holes in it, and I got a little thing to catch the drippings. So now I'll just get my meat and peppers and onions, and I'm going to pour it right in here to drain. Okay, that looks pretty good. There we go. Now while that's draining, then I'll come over here and get my little quiches ready. Okay? Okay, now we're ready to do our little quiche cake. So I'm going to spray the pans. I just used a regular butter spray. You can use whatever you like. If you have something in particular. This is my favorite I like to use, so I'll just do that. Okay, now we just took some crescent rolls. Now I like to cut off some of the stragglies. And we're going to fit one in here. I like to use 2 per cupcake thing because I think it makes it better. And this one looks pretty straggly. Take that off. Stick that in there. You know, they don't have to be perfect. Let's face it, nothing's perfect in life. So as long as they're good, that's all that counts. And they really will be good. So we'll just separate that, and then we're going to fill it. Alright, this makes about a dozen, maybe to 15. I've gotten 15 out of it at some point. Depends on, you know, on the meat and how much, you know, it stretches. It's always different. I don't know about you, but I know when I cook, things are always different. They don't always come out exactly as I think they should. So I always have to go with the flow, and that's what you have to do when you cook. You got to go with the flow, because food is food. As long as it's good, that's all that counts. That's the way I look at it. Okay, we're going to whip our cream cheese. Now I use 8 ounces of Philly cream cheese, and we're going to whip it, and you want to keep it at room temperature. And to get it just a little creamy, we're going to just add a smidgen of milk and my... Okay. Okay, now that we whipped our cream cheese, we're going to get our meat. It's been draining nicely. Now we're going to pour it in there. There we go. Alright, now we're just going to whip all that together. And nice and creamy. And we want to make sure we get all that cream cheese because that's the best part of the Philly cheesesteak is the cream cheese. Alright, now we're going to fill them. Now I use my little, I love gadgets, and this is my little dandy little scooper. It's not really an ice cream scooper, it's really for cookies and whatever, so this is the one I use. I'm going to take one of these, and we're going to just put them right in there. Now I like to fill the whole pan before I get fancy and put the tops on. Okay, so we're going to fill each one with our little scoop here. So you just have a scoop is just enough to fill one. It's just perfect, so you don't have to get your hands dirty with spoons and whatever. I don't know about you, but I love gadgets. I have all kinds of gadgets. I even have a gadget that does my mushrooms because I hate cutting mushrooms, but I love mushrooms, so I use gadgets for everything. And here we are. We're down to the last one here. Okay. Okay, now we're going to button these up, and we just take our crust and just make a little pocket. Here we go. So you got a nice little pocket, but the oven will expand these, so a lot of your little failures here will just fade out. Okay, we're almost done, and we're going to get these all nice and in the oven. Okay, we're going to put them in the oven, and our oven is 375. And we're going to bake them for 15 to 19 minutes. You have to really check to make sure they're nice and brown, and they should be done then. Okay? Okay, we're going to set our timer. I'm going to go for the 15 minutes first, but I'll check them in between. Okay, timer went off. Oh, they look really good. We're going to take them right out, place them on here. Now I'm going to let them cool down for a few minutes so we can take them out easier. In the meantime, I had heated up a little marinara sauce will be for dipping. So when they cool down, our sauce will be for dipping. Down. So we're going to take them out. Oh, they look good. And we're going to place them in our basket. Nice and warm. Okay. They come out very nice when you spray it. Okay. Now we're going to use a little parsley for garnish. Put a little parsley on there. Just kind of cut some parsley and place it on our little quiches. I like to keep fresh herbs on hand. As you see, I have a big bunch of parsley. I keep basil on hand also because I like a lot of basil and I like to make fresh things with basil. Okay, there we are. So we have our little quiches in there and our marinara sauce. Okay, now comes the best part. We're going to taste it, dunk it in our sauce. Is that good?